you got to give props to where props is due with since the whole feud ended with CM Punk and MJF. By the way, I've been like I get like once I'm into something like I just repetitive I get um I have an addictive personality, so I haven't heard this song, this track in like the longest time. You forget about it. I remember when was coming out to AFI, like I would play that nonstop in ROH when he was in ROH, and then he changed it, and then I forgot about it, and then he comes out to it in AEW with the old ROH team from AFI, and I go on loop like a man listening to that audio. But anyway, just I like how they transitioned. Um, and this just goes to show you how great MJF is. Um, the transition from the feud from CM Punk. And by the way, that loss hasn't affected MJF at all. At all. Like, you wouldn't even know. Like, it's an afterthought. It's beautiful how they are able, and I'll give AEW their props. Lately, they have been able to story tell. That's something that I thought, like in the beginning, first couple of years, that they really weren't able to story tell that much. Like I remember, like it would be just like one, like there would be no, like these guys would really have no feuds per se in the first year or two. Like or at least to me, there was nothing that has really stuck out in the last, in the first couple of years of AEW. But the storytelling that they have been doing lately, with it's something that they were missing for quite some time. The storyline that they have with Punk and MJF, the storyline now that's developing between Cole and Dragon and the Bucks. That's a storyline that's gonna be great storytelling already. The storytelling that you're ready that you have Eddie Kingston, who I love, by the way. It's just fucking being from New York. That dude is real. That is a typical. If you haven't been to New York, that dude is a typical. Like if you went to New York, and being that I am from New York, that dude is like New York. That's the typical like dude from New York. Like what he is on TV is like the typical Bronx, Brooklyn dude, and Bronx and Brooklyn is just gonna happen to skip from where I am, and his storytelling with Garcia and Jericho Appreciation Society. So whatever. Back to the original point. I love that they have really focused on long term storytelling, and it just something that they've lacked. And I think something that they really are doing better right now than AEW, than WWE for the most part. I mean, you have the Roman Reigns storyline there, you have RK Bro, but besides that, speaking of RK Bro, I see it coming. But yeah, the storytelling, MJF and Wardlow. When Wardlow finally gets his hands on MJF, it will be worth seeing because they are building this up week by week by week, and every single week MJF is as despicable, if not more despicable, than the prior week until he finally gets his hands on him. And just the way he says, pig, you pig, like you almost feel for Wardlow. And you don't even know the dude. And he is just on a roll. The fans are behind him. He has the expression. He has the expressions. I just worry about Wardlow. I worry about Wardlow. I worry if he is more than power bombs. Besides the power bombs, can he keep pace in the match? Because listen, I get it. The power moves. He doesn't have to have long matches. Guys, don't some guys necessarily don't have long matches. Goldberg never had long matches per se. Those all about intensity, guys like this. But eventually, you also need to tell a story in the ring. So I want to see if if he could go that way in the ring as well. It'll be interesting, but I like where they're going with Wardlow and MJF.